Shepherd's pie is one of the most common comfort food dishes, but I will have to say, I've tasted some pretty bland versions of it. Well, that's not the case with today's recipe. Thanks to a few special ingredients, we're giving this classic a flavor upgrade, as well as going over a few substitutions so you can easily make it gluten-free or dairy-free if needed. We'll start by getting those potatoes boiling. You'll need 1.5 pounds of russet potatoes. These are starchier than the yellow or red potatoes and make a mashed potato topping with a much better texture. Once they've been rinsed and scrubbed, peel them using a vegetable peeler, and then cut them into 1-inch chunks. They don't have to be exactly 1 inch, but you do want them as close to the same size as possible. Add the potatoes to a large Dutch oven or pot, and then cover them with at least 1 inch of water. Sprinkle in a pinch or two of salt, and bring the water to a boil. Once boiling, reduce the heat to low, and keep a rapid simmer for 8 to 10 minutes or until the potatoes are fork tender. While those potatoes finish up cooking, we'll get started on that ground meat layer. I'm using a leaner ground beef, so either an 85-15 or a 90-10 will work great. You can also always switch this up by using ground turkey or even venison instead. To a large skillet or saucepan, add 2 tablespoons of avocado or olive oil, along with 1 cup of finely diced sweet or white onion, and 3 ribs of celery that has been finely diced. Sauté over medium heat for 3 to 4 minutes, and then add in 3 cloves of finely minced garlic. Continue sautéing for an additional 30 seconds or until the garlic becomes fragrant. Push the vegetables to the side of the skillet and add in 1.5 pounds of ground meat. Cook for 7 to 8 minutes over medium heat or until there is no pink remaining. Use a potato masher to tenderize the meat and break it apart into fine crumbles. Next, mix in 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, 2 tablespoons of flour. You can easily swap this out for a gluten-free 1-to-1 blend or even cornstarch if you're avoiding gluten. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. This gives the filling so much flavor, so don't leave this out. 3/4 teaspoon each of dried thyme, rosemary, and parsley. 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix this all together until it's combined. Pour in 1.5 cups of a regular sodium beef broth and give it a good stir. Bring it to a boil, and then reduce the heat to low. Let the mixture simmer for about 10 minutes, giving it a good stir every few minutes, or until it is thickened up and is no longer runny. During the last 2 minutes of cooking, stir in 1.5 cups of mixed vegetables that have been thawed. Now that we've got the meat layer, let's finish up those potatoes. I went ahead and drained them and then put them back into the pot that they were originally cooking in. Now, all we need to do is turn them into mashed potatoes. To do this, you'll want to add 1/2 cup of milk. A non-dairy alternative such as a full-fat oat milk works great. 4 tablespoons of butter, or a vegan butter substitute if needed. 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. This can be left out if you're avoiding dairy. 3/4 to 1 teaspoon of salt to taste. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Using a potato masher, mash all of this together until it's smooth and creamy with very little chunks remaining. Alright guys, now it is time to assemble this all together. To do this, you'll want to grab a large 7 by 10 inch baking dish and then spray it liberally with nonstick cooking spray. Add the ground meat filling to the bottom, spreading it out to completely cover it. And then place dollops of the mashed potatoes on top, evenly spaced. Use a spatula to spread this out over the ground meat layer. But that's not all. If you want the potatoes to get that gorgeous crispy edge to them, you'll want to go back in with your spatula and make little peaks. This will help those tops get that gorgeous golden color. Once it's all assembled, add it to a preheated 400-degree oven and cook for 25 to 30 minutes. If you really want that extra crispy topping, you can always pop it under a broiler for a few minutes at the end. Let it rest for 10 to 20 minutes before serving in order for the ground meat filling to thicken back up. Well, it sure does look gorgeous, but the real test? Let's see if it tastes just as good as it looks. Oh my God, this is so good. All of those flavors from the herbs, that depth from that Worcestershire sauce. But I'm gonna let you be the real judge, so make sure that you let me know what you think. And if you need a few more cozy comfort food ideas, you've gotta check out these other recipes right over here that are perfect for this cooler weather. Thanks so much for hanging out. I will see you in the next one.